Hey there, once more, it's me again. I've decided to make a follow-up video to the first video that was actually just me talking for like half an hour, trying to explain the simple logic of how you can and at the same time you cannot view private Instagram accounts, because there's a fuzz about this going on YouTube and other different social networks a lot. Well, I tried to, theoretically clarify why some things are doable and some other things aren't doable. But apparently, you need like a visual clarification, and it's true that I bragged on for a tad bit too long about the whole issue. So what I decided to do is I'm just gonna make a video with a video, actually a screen capture, to show you what I tried to say in the previous video and what I actually meant. So what you see in front of you is actually a Google search for different Instagram viewing utilities you can find on the web, which are actually just websites created by random PHP users or groups of users, and of course they were created for only one single purpose: to spam those who would like to view a private Instagram account without following Instagram user in person. So there's just like scamming, phishing filters, pretty much services that would ask you or request you certain information from your site. And I'm not talking about information like trying to complete a survey. We're talking about information like giving your phone number, email address, and so on, or just trying to, plainly infect your machine with malware. So what I'm gonna do, first of all, just to prove my point, I'm gonna go through a couple of websites here that I opened myself. They're quite famous for this, for being offered on YouTube, and you have users whose fun, like I said, I don't share, because they're trying to get attention from these websites by promoting their utility and saying that as if they actually work for them, and going as far as to actually fabricate videos which are fake, but which kind of like explain visually and in voice how those things work. They don't believe them. Like I said, these people, they're just trying to get attention on YouTube. They're trying to get views, and you have different individuals coming into comments and simulating the functionality of these websites. But to anyone who actually understands how PHP works and how Java works, this would be plain nonsense, because probably those same individuals have created those websites, and they themselves are pretty much aware that it's not possible to do so without server intervention, without proper logins, like I said in my previous videos, cookies from Instagram.com or whatever its domain name is. So like you see here, for example, you have InstaViewy. This proposes you to enter the URL. Now here I created a fake account. I just, I am not an Instagram user myself, but I have created an account. I got one follower for the purpose of demonstrating my point of view, and I put up some posts. So here we see the account is completely private, and if I copy the link into this said website here and I go view profile, it's gonna think a little bit, which is more or less credible, and then at some point it's gonna say view private pictures, and well, it's just gonna copy information from Instagram itself, which is also nothing extraordinary. If you click on private pictures, it's gonna say, well, are you human or not? Complete surveys. It doesn't care if you're human or not. All it wants to do is for you to click on those things which are in no relation to whatever you want to do now, and kind of like specifically go and fill up information on different websites. And if you see, if you pay attention to this part of the screen, you're gonna see different ID there. They're all tracking. You see tracking ID. It tracks your movements. It tracks actually where you're going and what you're going to complete, so as to make this website believe you actually went there. But since those are all dead ends, they don't end anywhere, you can complete one or maybe two and they're gonna disappear from the screen, but at least one of these three, whether they'll be, because this is what you see for my country of Canada, but you can have some for the US, you can have some for different countries depending on your IP. None of them, there's no way to make disappear all these three in the server, in the tracker here. Some people actually requested you to, in their videos, to open up the page inspection, like the page source of this, and to click as to delete these links, these buttons here, and then delete the whole thing, delete this window, or I don't even remember what they, like, just delete, but once again, we're gonna get to this later, there's another video here. You're just deleting things on your screen, you're not sending information to the server. Those trackers aren't affected, because those trackers, even if they were affected, they have to get something from you. You have to click, you have to refresh the page. And if you just go and you click, and even if you refresh your browser, you didn't do anything for them. So it's completely illogical, because even stupider is going to complete those things. But like I said, there's one that is a doozy. One of those three, like, you know, like we say, one is a doozy. Two may work, but maybe this one will never go away, because that's how they function. Now this is another type of viewing utility created by I don't know who, but it kind of gives you options here if you do the same thing. Alright, that's gonna go, and I don't even think it actually, oh yeah, when you do it correctly, it says confirm your username, because it wants you to be, like I said in my previous video, it wants you to be someone on Instagram which is already halfway credible. However, if you click here, it says test and you cannot change it. So this, the way the way this is built in the inspection, in the source, it's a scam, because it's always gonna say test and confirm. There's no other way, and as soon as you confirm, it plays with you. It says how many pictures you want to download, even though this is a doozy Instagram account. Once again, there's nothing to download. This cannot work in logic. So you go all, and you go you, and it says it's loading, but there's nothing to load from. This is a simple JavaScript image. It's an image. It's not a process. It's just, like I said, it's fucking with you. It's not a process. So you go to verification and you have the same tools. You have the same links with tracking IDs from, if I remember correctly, the same website, which I don't think it's the website is the same, but you see they just pinpoint to these trackers. And they say show, as if it's gonna show something, but there's nothing to show. This third individual, I don't know who that person is, but I'm not going into individualist assault or something. That's not my point. It's not what I want to do. I'm just depicting this video uploaded by this user to well, further prove my point that this doesn't work. None of this works. This is impossible for it to work. It's even stupider. For those who understand PHP, it's gonna look stupider than these utilities. Why? Because if you go into the inspection page here, you do any modification on the number. Remember, these body and everything else, they're just sections. They're sections of your screen, of your web page. You're modifying the web page. You're not modifying, you're modifying the PHP of the web page logged in, shown in the JavaScript, but you're not modifying the server. You're not double crossing the server. You're not being smarter than the server. This is impossible. And this is impossible for one single tag here, which is actually, if you see logged in and if logged in, no JavaScript. This comes from Instagram. It doesn't come from your end. There's no way to, in even modifying this, there's no way to actually make it work as if it were a public account. And for the sake of it, I'm going to show you something. For example, you go into body, okay, and we know this account is private right now. You have this much of sections, cross sections there. You see, you're just selecting them: footer, header, span, so on. And you can even go into the style editor, which is completely irrelevant. But on my phone, I'm gonna make this account public right now, because I'm logged in as this user. So I'm just gonna go into options, and I'm gonna make this account public. So apparently now my account should be public. I just want you to remember this part of the script. And now if I refresh the page, so we see pictures there, it's the same part of the script. It didn't change. It did not change. I'm drawing your attention to this. The script did not change. The setting of these two pictures, which we're going to go through after, did change, but the script did not change, because it all relies on this. It proves on the server. These are what I was talking about when I said the cookies, when I mentioned cookies. These are what hold your position to the server and send information to the server as if who is able to see these pictures. Now I'm gonna go private again. I'm gonna show you something, but before, I'm just gonna make a post. I don't know, anything goes. Here's one. I'm gonna make a post. Because what you're gonna see here, suppose we close this thing. Okay, you can open this in your window. You see this? This is the address of my post, which is by this long. This is pure brute force. It just gives random numbers and letters and whatnot. But which is by this long, this long makes it public, because we know that this length of, you go Instagram, it's like a directory on your drive. Drive is Instagram, then there's a folder called P for post, and then there's a folder with my post on it, which could be like this guy's post number, whatever. But this is attributed by the server. And this is how a public post looks. What a public post looks like. This is how it appears. Now, for example, and by the way, here you can inspect element. I will just show you this picture here. Actually, I clicked on the wrong, sorry, view page source. The picture itself can be seen here, even though the access is, right now the access is public, so anybody can see this picture. Right, there you go, here you go. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go once again, see this, and the next one. This is the length of a public post on Instagram. When it's public, this is its encryption. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go private again. So it's private again, says okay. And by the way, when you go private, this is what I said in my previous video. When you put a hashtag here and your post is private, you post private with a hashtag. The only people who will see your post are people of this group. Not these guys, them. They will see your post because they are admitted to your page. So they will see this post. And if you are one of them and you want to view this guy's pictures, it's the same thing. You will view them only if you are part of this group on this individual's consent. This, forget it's not gonna work. This, forget it's not gonna work. This is bullshit. It's not gonna work. So once again, I've set this account to private. And now I am this guy, actually rather this one. Okay, it's another dummy account, it's public, la 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 la. So I'm logged in as this guy right now, right here. It's the same link. I want to follow this individual. Okay, so I click on follow. I've taken a request on my phone, follow requests, and say I confirm. I confirm. I can follow back at the same time. So as this individual now refresh the page, I'm admitted. But have a look. This is now the address. From what I show you prior here, this is now the address. Because to this length from here, which is a public encryption, right after the letter E, it added all this whole thing here, which is also completely randomly generated. But it's the same post. It dates 5 days. It dates 5 days. So this post, right now being private, is visible by those who are part of this group. And right now it's 2 followers, so me being him, accepted this guy, and this guy now has 1 following. So this group of people will see these posts because the encryption has changed. But what hasn't changed completely is this. Is the same link to the image. This is publicly available even if your posts are private. So you will always be able to see this file here, which is just a file on the web, because unlike, just like in the public, it did not change. It's also privately available. And if you go into private browsing, actually if you log out, as myself, for example, I log out. So as of right now, I won't be able to see this. Okay, it's no, it's private, you cannot. But I'm still able to see this. But right now the account is private. I would still be able to see this damn picture. I can refresh as many times as I want. I can see this picture because it's publicly available. So what I was talking about at the end of my video, because I'm not going to go into any more detail, I think that's enough for you. I'm trying to make my point a second time. This file here, those numbers here, are brute forced. What does brute forced means? It means that they are randomly generated by the server, but are always publicly available, even if you're not logged into Instagram. So in order for these programs to work, if they're not asking for your username like it was the case here, right here, if they're not asking, because you can't, you see, you can't put anything in here, it's a scam. But if they are asking, what does that mean? It means that they're gonna try to follow this individual, and they're gonna try to go into the Instagram server as this guy, because this guy has the interested individual in the following list. So they're gonna try to convince this page that this page is this page. And then by definition, since this page is admitted here, you will get access here. Except this is a scam. Okay, and like I said, either this method, they should offer here a username. So this would be a credible method. I don't know if it's going to work in practice. This works in theory because you're scamming the server itself by saying to this part of the server that you are this part of the server and that you want to download this guy's pictures on, I don't know, your device somewhere in your folder, but in fact it's going to go here. Or this, because I can't even close them. Utility should be able to brute force through all these numbers, which means go from the last one to the first one and try every possible combination, and then recognize that some combinations match the combinations on this guy's profile, and then open them one by one, but not all of them, because you have petabytes. The right suffix is petabytes of data of these pictures on Instagram server. Only those that are pertinent, but I don't know how it's going to do this, because brute forcing through this, which means you try from 0 to 9 here, then you change 2 for 3, you try from 0 to 9 here, then you change 3 to 4, and so on for all these numbers. And then you have to change these folders too. So it should take like a NASA supercomputer to be able to go through this. Then by brute force, you would be able to see pictures, because these pictures are publicly available. You only have to get the link. And of course, there are two credible methods. There are, how to say this, I mean, standard, normal methods, okay, which exist for a private Instagram account, because there's a reason they go private. As you click on the follow link and you wait for the individual to accept you as a follower here for this list, to which those posts here that I just showed you, those numbers here, are visible for this group. Or you wait until this individual goes public. So on their phone, they send a message that they're going back to go public, because private accounts have limitations, like I mentioned in my previous video. So if they go public, then they can be seen, or if they accept your request, then you can see them. This is what this whole feature was installed for on Instagram, and this is how they expect you to work with it, because the individuals who made Instagram, they are aware of the publicity of these pictures. They know it. So they just complicated the procedure for individuals who own smartphones not to go into all this bullshit just to get to the pictures. That's it. And if you post something with a hashtag, if the account is private, it changes, because when the account gets private, those posts are not seen in the same way on a mobile device using mobile browser than they are seen on a stationary computer. on a non-mobile device, which also includes laptops and notebooks, but does not include tablets, pads, and phones. As soon as a notebook or a computer, a desktop wants to access them, Instagram generates a link like so. But if a link is public, it ends here. If the account is public, if the account is private, it gets all this length. This is a decryption, actually, from the mobile device, because you can only upload pictures on mobile device, so they stay in the mobile part of the server, and non-mobile gets this. And if you don't have this link, actually you can have this these letters and numbers, but if you're not logged in via JavaScript there, you're not gonna see this at all. It's not gonna work. It's gonna say sorry, like it said 10 minutes ago when I showed you. And this is always available because this is where the image lies. This is your file. This is what you want. You cannot download the text. You will not be able to see text, hashtags, comments, likes if you don't have physical access, if you're not part of this group. But you can still see this, and you'll have to brute force through these numbers in order to get to every post. Then try these, then try these. And I believe the letter is also different, but I might be wrong. So that concludes my second video. I hope you got more briefed on what I was trying to say via actually a visual representation, and that right now you understand what I meant to say in the other video. Short answer, there is no solution for this. The only solutions, this is scam, this is scam, this is stupidity. The only real solutions are this, or wait until the account goes public. That's about it. I'm gonna close my video now. If you have any other questions, feel free to add on. So this is another 30 minutes I made. Please don't make me do another 30 minutes of explanation, because if I'll have to, I think I'm gonna go with a whole PowerPoint presentation. That's something I actually did on my previous machine, but the whole thing fried and I lost access, so I don't have any access to it right now. Thanks for watching. I hope this clarifies what I was explaining in the other video.